We have all heard of Little Italy, Little Spain, and Chinatown, but have you heard of Little Paris? In 2018, Leah and Marianne, two French natives, came upon unique sites on Center Street between Broome and Grand Streets in Nolita that reminded them of their home country. The cousins and business partners then decided to move their business Cuckoo, which provides French language classes, to the area. The two eventually came to start the initiative to rename the block Little Paris a year later.
We found this townhouse, which seemed perfect for us because when we visited it, it really felt already we're a little bit in Europe. We're in a neighborhood that has a lot of boutiques, a lot of French brands around and stuff like that. So we instantly felt at home and decided to settle here in this neighborhood.
The Cuckoo team felt that there was something more. Looking through articles, they saw that Little Paris was actually in a French area in the 1800s. Wrapped around the street is a police headquarters building inspired by Paris City Hall. Victoire, the CEO of Cuckoo, and her students said the surrounding French culture there was inspirational.
When they were in class, they were looking at the window and they were like, oh, it really looks like we're in Paris. Like, it's pretty unusual in New York to have such a big, beautiful building taking up an entire block like that.
Their goal in mind was to create a broader area for Francophiles in New York to have a place to call home. They also wanted to motivate French entrepreneurs to establish their business at Little Paris. With the surrounding French culture, there was only one option for the team.
We started a petition in 2019 to rename our block Little Paris Street. And so the next step after all of that is that we created a little guide of all the French businesses in Nolita. And the idea is really to try to create like a network of French businesses in the neighborhood and make us stronger.
Enter Maman. The bakery and cafe has locations across the tri-state area, but it was founded in Nolita in 2014 by Ben and Eliza. The married couple were on board with the Cuckoo team to rename the block Little Paris, their home away from home.
Yeah, so we've worked with Cuckoo for years now, and they're an amazing team, and we just love them so much. And so when they came to us with this idea that they had, we were so on board. For us, it was more so just like being supportive to them in this initiative and making sure we were doing all that we could by signing the petition and putting it in front of our customers to have that kind of like community buy-in as well.
The spark to create Maman came from the founders being in the kitchen with the ones they love.
And so Maman was just an homage to their mothers and cooking and baking with their families in the kitchen, because Maman means mother in French. So that's kind of like the whole ethos of our brand, is just like family and community and delicious food and drink around the table.
Creating Little Paris came with its challenges while going the city route. Their first decision in contacting the community board wasn't successful, Leah says.
In order to officially rename a street or co-name a street, it has to come from residents of the neighborhood. We happen to be in a street that is 100% commercial real estate, so we couldn't really go that route. But what we figured and we realized is that neighborhoods in New York are actually born out of people calling them something. It's kind of like a mix of people calling it that, real estate agents.
But explains how they are growing Little Paris right on Center Street.
And so we figured, well, we're going to make it happen ourselves. And if we call it Little Paris and install signs and establishes, people will slowly recognize it as such. And that's kind of how it took off. Like, people started noticing all the French businesses and history around here, and people started calling it Little Paris.
Maman and Cuckoo makes Little Paris an inviting place for Francophiles through what they offer. Victoire, a Paris native, explains how people can take full advantage of Little Paris through Cuckoo.
People come here because they're drawn to like learning the language, and obviously we have a very strong, tried and true custom teaching method. The community aspect is very, very important here. So on top of just learning the language, you're learning the culture and you're making like deep human connections.
Whether you're in the mood for French cuisine, shopping for your new place, or want to take some French classes with your friends, Little Paris might just be the place for you. This is Lynise Olivacce reporting for NBC New York.